Let's first welcome to the ring, Guerrero.
Hey, yo. Sí. 1, 2, 1, 2. Checando el micro. Ya, hoy les traje una tormenta.
Well, we just saw Marco Verde earlier on, and now we'll get another look at Aaron Guerrero, a man who has been sparring with Verde in an odd twist of cross-pollination as Guerrero prepares to face one of Verde's Reynoso stablemates here tonight. The through lines continue here for Guerrero, who was in a similar position here on DAZN in 2023 when he faced Misael Rodriguez, the last Mexican to medal in the Olympics prior to Verde, and pushed him to the brink back in 2023. Guerrero, who runs his own hip-hop label back home in Culiacan, you can hear that music right now, is hoping that he can ask a few more questions of a top prospect again here tonight.
Yeah, I like this kid, man. He's tough. He is tough. I mean, he has 3 losses, never been knocked out, all 2 unbeaten fighters. So this is going to be a real test to Leon. This is a solid matchup between 2 guys with that Mexican style. Brian Leon has that Cuban background, but he's learning that Mexican style. This is going to be a clash of the perfect style for these fans and for us.
And now let's welcome to the ring, the undefeated Brayan the King Leon.
Well, throughout boxing history, there's a pattern of all-time greats finding the next wave of stars through their roster of sparring partners. And the 2-time Cuban Junior National Amateur Champion Brian Leon helped Canelo Alvarez prepare for Edgar Berlanga, and was so impressive that Eddie Reynoso signed him himself. Not only did he get a blue-chip prospect out of the deal, but he also found a perfect match to help Alvarez prepare for another Cuban, William Skull, tonight. Leon has looked like a monster thus far, with 6 knockouts to begin his career, none of those fights going beyond the 4th round. Canelo camp obviously doesn't want the Cuban fans to celebrate too much here tonight, Chris Mannix, just during this fight.
No, and Leon has made it clear, even though he is of Cuban background, he is Team Canelo this fight weekend. I really like this young kid as well. He mentioned the 6 knockouts. I was talking to him about what his style is, and look, he says he likes all the knockouts, but he believes there's a complete fighter inside of him, and as his career progresses, you're going to see a lot more of that.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 6 rounds in the super middleweight division. Brought to you by Riyadh Season and the General Entertainment Authority, with Frank Warren for Queensberry, Canelo Promotions, Agon Sports and Events, and Sella, along with their great sponsors. Riyadh Season, STA, STC, Dr. Suleiman El Habib Medical Group, and Arena Fitness Innovation. It is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, Steward in Charge Guy Williamson. When the bell rings, our referee in charge and scoring this contest will be Bob Williams. Introducing to you first, fighting tonight out of the blue corner, he comes to the ring wearing black trunks and weighed in officially at 166.1 pounds. Coming to us from Culiacan, Sinaloa, Mexico, he brings a professional record consisting of 11 wins, 3 defeats, 1 draw, 7 of his 11 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Guerrero. And his opponent across the ring, fighting tonight out of the red corner, he comes to the ring wearing the USA and Cuba flag trunks and weighed in officially at 169.1 pounds. Hailing from Pinar del Rio, Cuba, he had a stellar amateur career and now as a professional is undefeated with 6 wins. All 6 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Brayan the King Leon.
Okay, gentlemen, obey my commands. In the event of a knockdown, the fighter standing will go to the furthest neutral corner and stay there. Protect yourself at all times. Touch gloves.
So ready to get a look at the blue chip prospect, Brayan Leon. We last saw scoring a 2nd-round knockout over Alan Flores in February of this year. And look who is here, His Excellency and Rick Reno arriving at the arena. Turki Al-Sheikh, the man putting it all together, making his entrance as we look towards our main event between Canelo and William School. His Excellency fresh out of Times Square and now here in Riyadh, Chris.
A nice, long, 13, 14-hour flight from New York. It's ready to go. Big event, big moment in the Riyadh season history of boxing, having the face of boxing, Canelo Alvarez, fight here for the first time. You know, Corey, you mentioned the experience of Leon, 6-0 officially as a pro. Also competed in that Team Combat League. Was one of the better fighters in that Team Combat League. So he's had experience at multiple different levels.
Yeah, he's 14-1 in the TCL, and of course those are 1-round outings, which means that he's lost 1 round in his time in the TCL. It's kept him very busy against solid opposition, and you see that polish already as he rocks the head of Aaron Guerrero back with a nice right hand.
Yeah, Leon doesn't waste any energy, any punches. He makes sure everything he throws lands really hard. Really solid. Those jabs that he's breaking the guard of Guerrero, those are power jabs. Those are rocking the head back of Guerrero. Guerrero better stop dipping to the left or right, not really taking them so solidly.
Leon just missed the left hook to the body a few moments ago.
Hear the ovation for His Excellency, Turki Al-Sheikh, entering the arena. You see Rick Reno of Ring Magazine trailing behind, and we're told there's a Ring Magazine belt in that case as well. Of course, the winner of our main event will be holding that belt as well, Canelo Alvarez. The super middleweight king, William School, trying to knock him off a little bit later on. And it's Brayan Leon, who you see on the left side of your screen, who's been one of the men helping him get ready for that main event.
Nice right hand to the body right there. You can see Leon set it up upstairs and then now came down. Really pinpoint accuracy. That's the thing that I'm seeing about Leon so far. Doesn't have the fastest hands. Of course, he has power because of the timing and the accuracy. Just a marksman with that right hand.
Beautiful chopping right hands here from Leon.
There you go.
Full
See,
counter again.
Yeah, that right hand's beautiful, Corey. I'm telling you, I've already seen him alternated in 4 or 5 different spots all around the guard, and he's doing it right in the nick of time. So you can see that the IQ is there. You know, he waits for the last moment to unleash the right hand, and where it's going to go, only he knows.
Aaron Guerrero has not been able to figure out where that right hand is going. He has eaten a lot of them here in the opening round. A dominant one for Brayan Leon.
Está trabajando muy bien, ¿ok? Sí, muy bien. Serenito, perfecto. Respira. Vamos a ir trabajando así con el pasito para atrás, ¿ok? Bájale un poquito más los golpes porque está agachándose mucho, ¿ok? El doble llave y la recta, bam. Cuando esté cerca de él, méteme los doble ganchos. Eso lo hemos hecho nosotros, doble gancho, bam, bam, ¿ok? Respira.
Back live here in Riyadh, a dominant opening frame there for Brayan Leon. While Aaron Guerrero's taking some extra time to recover, Brayan Leon is up and dancing to Migos. Round 2 underway. Just good snapping jab there from Leon. You know, Sergio, people have a tendency when they see someone as a Cuban fighter to think that they fight in what we know of as that classical Cuban style, but you know, fighters from any nationality aren't a monolith, but also this new generation of Cuban fighters, Leon, David Morrell, they don't always fight like what people think of Cuban fighters.
And just recently, Andy Cruz picking up that Philly, not only defense, but offense, you know. So whenever you have a hybrid of the boxing, the high fight IQ, the experience, the background of the Cuban, but bring it with a mesh of something else, you know, Mexican style or anything else, it's going to be a beautiful thing, a dangerous thing.
I think the stereotype of the Cuban fighter has often been, look, they're boring. You see guys like Erislandy Lara early in his career, Guillermo Regendow, highly skilled but not all that entertaining. That has completely evolved. You mentioned those names, Corey. Go back even earlier. Luis Ortiz, Cuban heavyweight, excellent action fighter. Yuri Gamboa, excellent action fighter. They have really evolved just from being highly skilled to also pretty highly entertaining.
Or maybe one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Cuban-Mexican fighter is Jose Mantequilla Nápoles. Just smooth as butter every time he was throwing combinations.
And of course, Nápoles left Cuba to live in Mexico and was able to blend those styles, and now that professionalism is legal in Cuba, you're seeing those styles blend even more as you're watching here with Brayan Leon, who is turning in a beautiful performance here as he rips another body shot downstairs, and look at these uppercuts through the middle.
And Leon is fighting in slow motion. He doesn't have hand speed, all right? So that's not ever going to be something that he's going to pick up or learn. He has timing. He has comfort. Look at how he drops that lower hand just because he knows he can roll behind that big left shoulder and come back with that right hand. Even in the older stages of James Toney's career, he got away with that, you know, because he's so comfortable being able to lean back like that. And Leon, with only 6 fights, is already picking up that championship comfort that can get you a long way with that shoulder roll.
Good left hook on the inside there. There was a wicked right hand from Leon that landed about 20 seconds ago as well, and you're starting to see some swelling developing on the face of Aaron Guerrero already.
And these are great shots being landed by Leon. Upstairs a moment ago, that left hook to the body was punished.
No, he's breaking down the Guerrero. He's slowly backing him up. You can see that Guerrero's on his front foot aggressive. Now he's slowly starting to respect those right hands that are coming from Leon.
He is feeling those right hands. He is in a bit of trouble right now. And Leon, as we know, is very adept as a finisher for a 6-0 prospect. And Guerrero will make it out of the round, but with deep breaths as he heads back to the stool. And His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh probably liking what he's watching right now. What a few days for Turki Al-Sheikh. Big ovation for him as he entered the arena here tonight with the Ring Magazine title in tow. A monstrous night for boxing here tonight in Riyadh.
And that takes dedication to the sport to be in New York City, long fight card, fly across the world, come back here to watch another fight card. He's not just here for the Canelo Alvarez fight, he's there watching Brayan Leon up in action.
Of course, we saw Alakel a little bit earlier. Turki Al-Sheikh was ringside for his first fight, and suddenly there's momentum up behind Alakel as well.
There is some swagger to Brayan Leon. He has been up early every single time. Kind of a snarl to him, Sergio.
Yes, man. Yeah, the king of that ring, Leon. I like how he's not even breathing heavy. I mean, everything's just so relaxed.
And you watch when Guerrero came in, he had some swagger coming into the ring. He was coming here to win. He locked eyes with the camera on the ring walk. He had a whole elaborate introduction set up when they were saying his name. So far, you can see just kind of the life sort of drained out of the eyes of Guerrero.
Because Aaron Guerrero can fight. I mean, this man can fight. But right now, he's getting it beaten out of him.
Aaron Guerrero, throughout his career, has talked about how he values entertaining the fans more than he cares about going on to win title belts. He said that his first coach told him that if you're going to stay in boxing, you either fall in love with the sport and the luxury of taking beatings, or you leave the sport. He's taking a beating right now, Sergio.
Well, listen, man, he is from one of the...
Good left hook there from Guerrero as he comes alive here in the third round.
He's going to have to get the respect of Leon and try to get Leon on the back foot, which he just did right now. So Guerrero should continue coming forward. You don't want Leon on the front foot. You want him on the back foot.
That was an excellent left hand from Guerrero. You could see the legs of Leon shake after taking that shot. Sergio, I was just about to ask you, like, are there dangers to this style of fighting? Because he is, Leon is flat-footed, and he doesn't have, I don't think, the greatest of reflexes going back.
No, he doesn't have the greatest reflexes, but he does have a good radar. That's why he doesn't get hit. He barely moves away. It looks like he's just, opponents barely missed by an inch, but that's his style. He looks back to really counter with that right hand. What you do with styles like that is you got to double up the left hook. You got to get him to stop moving with that shoulder roll. That's how you break the monotony of the shoulder roll.
A hard body shot that connected from Leon a moment ago. You saw Guerrero turn southpaw momentarily immediately afterwards. Might be an indication that he felt that one. He gets his head popped back again by a right hand from Leon, who digs downstairs once more. This is the kind of fight that Aaron Guerrero wants. Inside trench warfare. Leon showing off some of that classical Cuban footwork. Leon clearly has recovered from that left hook that Guerrero connected on. And it might be a little demoralizing, Sergio, for Guerrero. He landed a peach of a shot and is back to getting dominated here by Leon.
I think it's probably a little bit dispiriting, the fact that this man's fighting with his hands down so comfortably and still landing cleanly. Hands down, lead right hand just to land that left hook. Beautiful shot, a little lower and it would have had more damage at the tip of the chin. But shots like that over the top. You got to start moving in your head, bending your elbows. If you don't have the fastest reflexes like Guerrero, you still got to be a little bit responsible with the hands up. You can't get lazy on a guy like Leon.
A big fight coming up a little bit later on tonight. The WBC Cruiserweight title on the line as Badu Jack the Ripper is finally back in the ring as he takes on Noel Michaelian. And we'll finally settle, Chris Mannix, what is a bit of a messy situation with this title, won't we?
Two cruiserweights both believe they are the WBC champion.
Back to light heavyweight action here as Brayan Leon and Aaron Guerrero going at it. Nice right hand again there from Leon, and another one immediately behind it. Everything working for Leon right now, and there looks to be a little extra mustard on these shots from Leon here in the fourth. As we mentioned, no opponent of his has made it out of the fourth round thus far.
I could see why Eddie Reynoso is saying this man's a complete package. I mean, with 6 fights, he does everything pretty much right. I mean, there's nothing I can see that he does wrong. He's so calm. Poker face the entire time. He doesn't get hit solid. Even when he does get hit by something, he rolls the power off it.
Oh my goodness, what a shot from Brayan Leon!
4, 6, 7, 8.
What a combination from Leon as Guerrero was sent into a free fall. Somehow back up on his feet, but Leon is looking to keep that streak of knockouts alive. Lots of time for Leon to work with here in the fourth. Guerrero trying to fight his way out of trouble, but he just ate another chopping right hand as he tries to grab a hold.
I like the patience from Leon here, not rushing his shots, trying to set something up against Guerrero.
Patience, I think he's enjoying it. He's enjoying this beatdown, man. He's playing with his food a little bit right now because he knows he has a wounded fighter in front of him.
Same combination there. Guerrero barely stands up to it this time. The swelling intensifying. The body shots keep coming for Leon. Aaron Guerrero in a world of trouble right now with less than a minute to go in the 4th round.
And Guerrero could take a punch. He's a tough man right now. He's taking some solid shots from a big puncher.
Another uppercut breaks through there for Leon.
Guerrero turning southpaw just to avoid the body shots to the right side of his ribs. He got tired of getting hit down there.
Leon walking forward with the confidence of a man who is certain that he's going to end this fight by knockout. But he might not do it quite as early as he has thus far in his career. As Guerrero, it appears, will make it out of the 4th round.
Just smooth, getting away from the aggression just to land that right hand. But look, the right hand missed, but the left hand didn't. Right on the tip of the chin. Right there, right hand missed, boom. Shots like that. You don't hit him on the cheek or the temple. It's the tip of the chin, the jaw. You get that. The knees buckle, the legs go. What a shot. You could see legs were cut out of Guerrero, went straight to the canvas, kept them hurt.
That's what happens when you get into exchanges. Punching with a power puncher. Great timing on that short left hook by Leon.
If you're going to exchange with a puncher, you better make sure you have better technique.
Well, Brian Leon doesn't like to work overtime, but overtime boxing heads to Houston this Friday as Andreas Katsarakis is back in action, taking on the undefeated Puerto Rican Roberto Cruz live here on DAZN. And we're back to super middleweight action here, just to correct myself from the previous round. Brian Leon, as we mentioned, helped prepare Canelo Alvarez for his bid for another undisputed super middleweight crown tonight against William School, the countryman of Brian Leon. And Leon, to this point, certainly looks like the next Cuban to watch out for in the coming years.
Good shot. A lot of questions asked of a lot of Cubans, or if they can take a shot, if they have a chin. We know that Leon has a chin because he got rocked by Guerrero, took that punch, kept coming.
All right, let's send it over to Claudia Trejos, who is in the corners in between rounds. Claudia, what are you hearing?
Well, I stole the words from Sergio Mora and asked the coach, is Brian Leon really playing with his food? And he said, no, not really. He's being very careful because he felt Guerrero's power. But he wants to get rounds. He wants to, just be able to allow his skills, his boxing skills, to be sharpened because Guerrero is the type of opponent that is going to make him look good.
Thank you so much, Claudia. And as we mentioned, this is a guy in Guerrero who was in there with an Olympic medalist in Misael Rodriguez, was a round or two away from beating him here on DAZN. So this is relatively aggressive matchmaking for Leon here tonight. And outside of one left hook that seemed to shake his legs a little, he has not had any difficulty whatsoever.
Aggressive matchmaking, but much needed. I mean, you want to test your prospects like this to see what they got. And we got something special with Brian Leon.
Hard counter body shot there from Leon, punching with Guerrero as he ripped that left hand downstairs.
Yeah, normally he was catching and countering to the chin. Now he went downstairs, caught Guerrero off guard. A little bit more to the left. That would have landed cleanly and done some more damage, but it just barely grazed the ribs.
Three-punch combination there from Leon, who has looked very comfortable on the inside in the moments that this fight has been spent there, including that devastating knockdown, which he only needed about 3 inches to land that shot that dropped Guerrero.
I'd like to see Leon mix in a few body shots in these exchanges. As Sergio said, you've seen Guerrero kind of switch stances to protect that body. When Leon's letting his hands go, I'd like to see him go downstairs a couple of times.
We've seen a couple knockouts already here tonight, and if you want to go back and watch them, we've got an exciting new feature to tell you about on the DAZN app. You can switch between rounds by using Fight Card on your DAZN player to relive any of the action you've missed, and rewatch the best bits again throughout the night. You see the directions there on the left, bottom left corner of your screen as we look back into the corner of Brian Leon.
He's opening his elbow, so you got to dig down with that left hand.
10 seconds out for the sixth and final round.
Sixth and a final round here between Brian Leon and Aaron Guerrero, and this is a fight that did not look early on like it was going to make it here.
No, it did not, and credit to Aaron Guerrero. Now you know why he hasn't got knocked out in 14 fights, and people have, given him opportunities to test prospects like this. Well, what a statement Brian Leon will make if he can actually get him out in the last round. That would show you that he was having fun in there and taking his time.
Yeah, Guerrero's giving him some of those opportunities by coming forward, trying to win. That's how he got knocked down the first time. Quick counter hook. I think that might be there again for Brian Leon.
I think that same punch that rocked Guerrero with that throwaway right uppercut, left hook will be there once again. If he can just, get in position to throw it with leverage.
Very dangerous for Guerrero to exchange with Leon.
Credit to Guerrero, who is trying to win here in the sixth and final round. Not a lot on these shots that he's offering, but he is hustling, and he's trying his best to produce an exciting fight, which he has always done. And a very exciting fighter on the domestic Mexican scene, but this is a different level that he's stepping up against tonight against Leon. Hard left hook up top there from Leon.
There's that right uppercut.
Guerrero walks through it and keeps on throwing, and look at Leon just swimming underneath everything. Hard two-punch combination again there from Leon.
Yeah, if there's one critique that I would have for Leon, it is not going to the body as much as maybe he should in the second half of this fight.
Left hook from Leon a moment ago. Guerrero falling forward a little bit there, but Leon would be warned for pushing down on his head as he did so.
We saw in the last fight with Rich Riakpor, you go to the body enough, it'll make a guy say no mas. Aaron Guerrero's got a heck of a chin.
Final 20 seconds of this contest.
Good shot. Just so relaxed with that left hook. He didn't throw power behind it. And he still was able to rock it and shake the legs of Guerrero with that nice, simple left hook. Punches through his opponent.
Some really beautiful sequences here from Leon to finish off the fight. When you see those in slow motion, Sergio, those are going to look real pretty.
Oh, man, now I love what I saw with Leon. Now I see what all the hype is about. With only 6 fights, 7 under his belt now, this kid has a lot to learn, a lot to pick up, and of course, sky's going to be the limit for him.
Well, the rematch they're calling the Inquest comes to DAZN on Saturday, May 17th, as Johnny Fisher and Dave Allen pick up where they left off in Riyadh last year. After the controversy of Fisher's victory, will it be repeat or revenge at the Copper Box?
I'm sure Brian Leone would have preferred to get the knockout in this fight, but it is good that he gets 6 rounds under his belt, gets some experience against a guy with a good chin. Go back, watch some of that film, learn a few things. Probably be a better fighter next time out.
We mentioned the added experience that Leone has been getting in the Team Combat League as well against very seasoned fighters. And looking at Leone here tonight, it's a guy that could be moved relatively aggressively, I would think. Looks like he will improve to 7-0, and to affirm that, let's send it up to Thomas Treiber.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 6 rounds of boxing, our referee in charge, Bob Williams, scores the contest 60-54 for your winner, and still undefeated, Brayan the King Leone.
So Brayan Leone at now 7-0 as the 22-year-old turns in a terrific performance, and he looks like he could be the next Cuban star.